Last week we recorded a very special chat with Peacock Affect. You're about to hear it in full right now at BBC Introducing in Devon, plus a load of tracks as well taken from his brand new EP himself, which is called Imaginary World, which is out this coming Friday the 24th of November. Let's start with this one though first. The track is called I Wrote This in the Dark, and then George Holman, aka Peacock Affect, sat down and had a chat. Stay tuned. It's BBC Introducing in Devon. It's the first track of 4 that you're hearing tonight from Peacock Affect, and George is here with me in the studio this evening, taking over the show now for the next half hour or so here on BBC Introducing in Devon, talking about his music. It's been years. 2014, I'm trying to think. George, was the last time you were here doing an interview with us?
4 years, I think. Yeah. If my math's not too bad, but thank you for having me again. In
the old Radio Devon building. So what do you think of our new glossy, kind of
really
shiny studios?
Nice. Yeah, very glossy.
Does it feel a lot more professional now?
Yeah, it felt professional anyway.
And how have I been doing, George? Because I know you. You're a fan of the show. You listen across. Have I been doing a good job these last 4 years since the last time I've seen you?
yeah, great.
Good.
Thank you for playing me and everything.
Excellent. Well, look, where do we start? Because it has been that long, but I have to say, you of anyone that we play across the whole of the county are certainly the most consistent, the most prolific in terms of producing quality, and you kind of do it quietly on your own, it seems, in the background. You just get your head down and you get on with it, and every few months you've just got new track, brilliant artwork, brilliant visuals to accompany it. You're talking to your fans, people around the world are interacting with you, they're lapping it up. The Spotify numbers are looking really good and healthy. Talk to me about your process in your head and the way that you're doing all of this.
Well, I just see the songwriting process as a bit of fun, to be honest with you, and I don't try to write anything. I just do it when the mood takes me, and that's incredibly important to me. I think if I did it because I had to do it, it wouldn't be the same. So that obviously I focus on the business side of it a lot as well. That's very important to me. But the music is an expression, it's an art form. I can't force it. So it's very, very important that I'm like that, and I am like that, and I just do it naturally. I don't have to try, and it's all worked out fine. I mean, the other day I was thinking, God, maybe I should try and write a song, see what happens. But I don't. I just do it, and it comes out nicely, just for fun. And I play guitar all the time for fun, so just in my spare time. So yeah, and I love it. So
So there's no business head on necessarily. Because I mean,
but not when I'm writing songs.
Did you go to the BBC Introducing Amplify event in London? Because I know you were talking about it.
Yeah, I did.
So did that teach you anything new? Did you learn anything from that? Did you get an idea of, okay, well maybe I should think about making an album and marketing it properly and sticking it out there, or holding stuff back and releasing it properly?
I'm always thinking about that. Always.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that I was told that I kind of already knew, because I know a lot and I absorb a lot, and I know a lot about the industry and everything. So yeah, but
was there any? I've asked this to a couple of people that have come on the show who went. Was there any one point that you thought, do you know what? I never thought of that. That's really, really good advice. And I'm putting you on the spot here.
Not particularly, but there were a few little things I picked up on, like the Spotify. There's a guy from Spotify who talked. There was a few.
So look, talk to me about home. Talk to me about the recording process. Talk to me about you and where you are and what's inspiring you and the world around you, and kind of how that affects your music, as it were. 'Cause you're in Exeter.
What are my influences or what?
Yeah, you're in Exeter.
Yeah, near Exeter.
Okay.
But I say I'm from Exeter because no one else would know where I'm from otherwise.
Okay.
But I mean, I've got more followers in the US than anything. I've got something like 10,000 listeners on Spotify in the US, that. and then the second is Brazil. So really, Exeter's not a focus whatsoever.
Yeah,
it's actually just just the World Wide Web. Really, that's the focus.
Okay.
More than anything, I don't focus on gigging too much these days as well. And to be honest with you, I would like a band if I was to do it, and it's hard work for nothing. So it is the web mainly, but I will definitely be doing gigs at some point.
And what kind of responses are you getting then from America and from South
very
America?
Good.
What they say?
Spotify's better than ever. I always get like fan mail all the time from like sad people who say that my music has, touched them a lot and what have you, and that's very flattering. You do get used to it after a while though, and then it's good.
And do you think your music appeals to a certain type of person then, do you think?
Not necessarily. I think the age range is usually sort of 20 to 25 usually, and then there's a little bit more kind of female orientated in the teenage range.
Okay. Tell me about some of the music we're going to hear tonight, because I Wrote This in the Dark was the opening track we played tonight. I mean, I think I'm pretty much looking down the list now of all of the tracks that you've played and you've uploaded to us, and I think we've almost, 20 tracks on the uploader. That's relatively prolific in the time that I've been working on the show.
Really?
And there's a tick by every single one. We've played that. That was an upload of the week. We've played that. Tell me about I Wrote This in the Dark.
It's like a year old now, and that was I don't know, just randomly wrote it, and I really like that one. I like the mood of it. I like the misery in it. I like the there's something kind of cutting about it. I think it kind of cuts through more than my other songs. I think I can't really explain it, but the kind of the melancholic kind of mood of it, the piano of it, I love, and I'm very proud of it. I don't know why I like that one so much. It's hard to know what other people will think of it, but I definitely love it. So. And
the next one we're going to hear is the Glow in the Dark Stars. What is it about the dark? What is it about the night? Are you a night owl? Are you a 4 a.m. guy writing your music, or what?
No, I just thought it was a very pretty idea, the Glow in the Dark Stars, because I got like glow in the dark stars on my ceiling in my room, and I think glow in the dark stars are very pretty, and they remind me of my childhood, because I used to have loads when I was little, and it's just really kind of nostalgic, and I just thought it'd be a really cool name for a song, and it came into the lyrics, and I can't remember off the top of my head the lyrics for some reason. I would if I was to play it on guitar though. But Lying Belief in the Glow in the Dark Stars. I just thought it was a very pretty name for it.
Okay, let's hear it, and we'll come back and we'll chat more with George, aka Peacock Affect, here on BBC Introducing Devon. He's taken over the show tonight.
That it looks how in a world so full of hate. I listen to some music and I realize my fate. It was lovely to meet you. Now try and find me. Go on, find me.
BBC introducing Devon's second track from Peacock Affect tonight. It's called The Glow in the Dark Stars. We're actually recording this last week, and George is Facebook living this, so many of the fans listening and watching around the world have kind of been privy to the conversation that we've had last week, but we're playing music in properly tonight as well, which is a little bit different, which you're hearing this evening. A couple more tracks still to come from Peacock Affect tonight. You mentioned then you want to get a band together. You mentioned you're perhaps not necessarily gigging so much around Devon at the moment. You have done a couple of bits. There were brief bits when there was a Peacock Affect band in place. So what happened
I've still
there?
got them. I've got Tom, who plays bass for me, and he's great help, lovely guy. My mum plays piano, and I get her to play a few guitar lines. I did at one point, very briefly, for a gig or two, and it sounded probably better than ever. I had my friend Sam on guitar as well, so it sounded really good. But it's just really hard work gigging, I find, and
because there's not enough places to play.
You don't get paid, etc. I don't mind doing it. I will do it if I'm asked, usually. But I just like I like the recording process of the recording studio and uploading it and the internet and what have you a lot more.
How is it working with Mum on the tracks? Mum, play it this way.
She can be really annoying sometimes. she's great though.
She's great. I met her for the first time tonight. She's lovely.
Yeah, she plays piano in the Glow in the Dark Stars, actually.
Oh, fantastic.
I play piano a bit, but I'm not that great. But sometimes it just doesn't work, though. But no, she's very supportive. She's there every time I record a song at the recording studio, because I don't drive. She takes me there, and it's pretty handy. And she gives a lot more feedback than you'd think. Actually, she'd say, like, this bit here is not very clear, that the lyric, make it more clear, and like little things like that.
Yeah.
She's more help than I realise sometimes.
Yeah.
It's really good. She's I get my creativeness from her as well. She's
excellent. That's a lovely thing to say. Thank you, Mum. And lovely to meet you this evening. So
she's probably giggling at this, like she's listening.
So she's paying attention to everything that you do and you write and all the gigs that you play. And me and you used to bump into each other all the time at gigs in Exeter. In fact, I always knew wherever I went, whether it be the Cavern or the Phoenix or wherever it might be, I was going to bump into you. We'd have our little natter and chat about music. That hasn't happened so much recently because we've both kind of got different circumstances going on. But give me your take at the moment of what's happening around the city in terms of the live music scene. I know that later on tonight, aka last week, at the Pat and Pusher Boys are coming in to do the round table, and they seem to be kind of the buzz band of the moment. Everyone's kind of really talking about them. What do you think about the bands that are around at the moment, the music that are around at the moment, the artists around at the moment, and the way that it's being represented around the city? Is it a good time? Because I said perhaps that we might have had a bit of a peak last year, and you were a bit kind of, I'm not so sure, James.
No, not necessarily. There's always going to be good bands and not so good bands in every city, so that's just the way it is. And obviously it's not a humongous city, so you get less bands from Exeter, but I really like Black Foxes.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of surprised me, like their early stuff. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't that into their early stuff, and then they came out of like Husk and Whatever Lets You Cope. That's a beautiful song. It's just like, it's such a great song. Beautiful, really beautiful. So I mean, it's just, I mean, Exeter, I don't really fit in there these days. it struggles because of the university there as well, because most of the people studying there are doing maths and not just maths, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
It's less creative,
yeah.
And law and there's some, the English students there are quite into music though, unsurprisingly, I guess. But yeah, and with the web now, it does change things a little bit with gigs, because it used to be a main way of finding out about bands before the internet. You know, in the 90s and what have you, you would go in and see a band, and getting yourself heard would be hugely to do with gigging. And I'm not saying that it isn't now, because it is. You do. There's a lot of bands who gig to get themselves well known, but it is changing a little bit. But I mean, the core of music and the music industry is, if the music's good, people will go to it. Obviously, there is a lot of really commercialized stuff that's huge and that's not really very good music, but it doesn't last. You know, it's only big for a couple of minutes.
Agreed.
And then it dies off, and so it is kind of the core being good.
So what's the trick then for you? What's been the secret to your success in terms of working online? What are the things that, where did you go? Where was the first port of call for you, do you think? Or is a new artist kind of emerging, coming up through around Devon, and they kind of agree with you and they go, do you know what, I'm not having much luck. I'm getting out there and just doing the open mic nights and playing to the same people. I want to maybe follow in the footsteps of George and kind of get this great following online and develop these fans perhaps abroad a little bit more who are listening. What's the first step that they need to take to go along and do that? Get a good broadband connection.
Yeah. Well, the two main things I think you just need to find a way for people to come across your music randomly, and if you don't do that, you're pretty much not going to get anywhere.
Okay.
Really, if no one's going to come across your music, it's so much easier said than done. It sounds so easy, but
it sounds
really
time consuming because of all the platforms that are available.
You've got to make music people want, and then they've got to find out about the music.
Okay.
And there's intricate little things like image and little things like that. But being good and people coming across your music is the two most important things. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to hear a third track from Peacock Affect shortly called The Drowning. First of all, just tell me briefly about that quick little Molly the Odd reunion that you had.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'll say it. We had a management in the US, but they don't do anything. And they work with all these big artists signed to Warner Brothers and stuff. But we don't really know whether we're coming or going with them.
Okay, because you kind of...
We can't get anywhere without a manager though, because it's difficult.
But you got back together and you did a gig in Exeter this year, didn't you?
Yeah, we did a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were there at one of them.
How was that?
I had to get rid of a drummer. I hated that.
How was it getting back together and doing all those...
It's difficult because it's my brother in the band, and we're a great band, but it's not very believable when it's a member saying that. But we are a great band.
You were a great band, certainly.
Yeah. I don't know what will happen with it. Something good could happen. Maybe not. I don't really know.
Okay.
It's difficult. Bands. It's why there's so many more well-known artists and less well-known bands, is because it's easier to just crack on with it when you're an artist by yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Track number 3 that we're hearing from you tonight, and we're going to talk about the new EP, which is out next week, which I haven't even touched upon yet. We want to talk about your fantastic artwork, which we're always raving about on the show too. We tweet every single picture and stuff that you put up online if we could. I think people would just think we were suddenly the Peacock Affect fan club. Tell me about The Drowning first, though, which we're going to hear next.
It seems to be quite popular with Brazilians for some reason. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I was listening to it the other week. And I was like, wow, I forgot how good this is. The layering in it and everything. Yeah, I think I've matured lyrically a little bit. Maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a great song personally. Very relaxing song as well.
Okay, let's hear it. The Drowning by Peacock Affect on BBC Introducing in Devon.
The same thing every day. I'm so tired must simply lie without drowning anymore. I don't wanna be here, but I don't want to not be here. Suicide, it won't happen, but then neither will I, without drowning anymore. La la la.
Track number 3 is called The Drowning from Peacock Affect. George has been doing this Facebook Live as we've been going along with the interview tonight. We pre-recorded this one last week, which all kind of makes total weirdness in terms of times and stuff. What are people saying? You were kind of saying people in Brazil have been messaging and all that kind of stuff?
I don't think I can get them up now because it was from the last video, but it was like love from Brazil, and I didn't read the others, but there were others.
I love it. I think that's so good.
It's so sweet.
I think that's so sweet and lovely.
I take it for granted. It's really bad of me. I really do.
Tell me, right, let's do artwork first before we talk about the brand new EP. Just where does the inspiration come from? How often do these little kind of sketches come about? I just think they are magnificent. Talk to me about it.
To be honest, lately, I used to just kind of do them really randomly, but lately I kind of do it when I've got like a release. I go, all right.
I was going to say, does it have to go hand in hand with the music?
To be honest with you, I think sometimes I think that I could have done a better image. Actually, like it doesn't go with the moods, but I think it looks great on Spotify and SoundCloud.
It does.
It's kind of, I've got like this cloud thing going on at the moment. I don't think anyone's seen the EP cover yet. You will see it.
Okay.
But it's a little bit more intricate. It has the clouds at the top and blues and stuff. So yeah. I'm not really that into art, weirdly enough. I like art and I appreciate it, but I don't think it's as powerful as music and movies whatsoever.
Okay.
I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with art, but I do find it a bit underwhelming sometimes.
Well,
but no,
it's certainly in terms of what you're doing to kind of mix in with the music you're making, we love it. We absolutely love it, and it always works perfectly, exactly with a song that we've just heard as well. And we always try and tweak the artwork. We'll tweak some more certainly tonight for the tracks that we've been playing so far this evening. And you mentioned the artwork for the EP, so look, this is it. I mean, we kind of touched upon this in the first part of our chat tonight. Do you have an idea that further on down the line you're going to be releasing an album or whatever, and typically you're just kind of putting track out after track after track after track, but we finally got some form of kind of product together with this EP, where I'm assuming you've perhaps picked in order of the tracks that you want them to go and the flow of those 7 tracks on the EP as well. So tell me about Imaginary World. It's out on Friday, 24th. And we just can't wait that it's finally out there.
Well, I think the first track's the best one in my opinion, but To be honest, that's not really much to say. Yeah, I'm really bad with my own songs because I overhear them. I know every single detail in them. And then I start to hate them because I've heard them so much. And then I don't know what to think of them. And then I get in a rut. And then I don't know what it is. It's really bad. It's a bit strange, to be honest. But you just can't really see yourself easily when you're an artist. You can't like have an outside perspective because you are the artist. So it's a little bit peculiar. But no, But no, the EP itself, I mean, it's really written when I was really depressed, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, I don't know if I would go into it, but, just really anxiety driven. And the lyrics are very much about that. And Straight Into the Rails is, when I kind of listen to the lyrics, I think, wow, I was really in a appalling place at the time. So
okay.
The whole thing's kind of based around that a little bit. I don't think Aliens is quite that sad, but most of the EP is definitely. So it's usually sad though. It's nothing new for me.
So for a listener picking up this EP for the first time, it's going to be out on Friday. Where's going to be how do you want someone to consume this EP? What's going to be, do you want it to be on someone's headphones on the commute to work? Is it with the lights off in the bedroom? Is it just online that you want them to go and check it out? And that question first, how do you want people to consume the EP?
I think ideally headphones, but I don't think it matters too much.
Okay.
Yeah, well, obviously good speakers help.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like it on a rubbish iPhone.
No. Okay. And the best way for people to go on. I mean, Spotify, we're pointing towards people a lot, and we're giving them a big plug. But it's going to be out there. It's going to be available for anyone. And you're going to do physical ones too, or not? Is that you're just straying away from that completely?
I was going to send loads, but now I'm just I don't know what I was thinking. I made loads of CDs for it, and then I'm like, why am I making CDs in 2006?
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my. But it's to send to radio presenters and music blogs, but I could just email. I don't know what I was thinking. It's quite funny looking at it. I've just got all these CDs, but I will send some of them out. Yeah. What was your question?
No, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So people need to get along online 24th next Friday. Imaginary World, the EP, Peacock Affect is coming out.
It'll be everywhere on your usual places.
Yeah,
Spotify and SoundCloud and stuff.
Brilliant.
YouTube, etc.
And any particular plans for any gigs to kind of promote that at all, or just not in the pipeline?
No, at the moment.
Okay.
No.
Fine.
So, yeah.
What about music videos? Because if you go to facebook.com/Peacock Affect, by the way, your kind of banner at the top of that video is beautiful with the kind of paper in the car.
Great.
Tell me about that.
That was made by Joe Ball. He was tuning in just now.
Okay.
It said, but he lives in America, and I've never met him or spoke to him on the phone. But
so this was filmed all in America?
Yeah, in Indiana. There's a spaceship video as well. So he's done 3 videos for me now. They're all really good. And I did one for Straight Into the Rails. That's the latest one.
Does money change hands in this, or does he go, I love the song, I just want to make this for you, and here it is?
No, you have to pay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would get more. It's not like, high, your typical high budget.
It is
100,000. It's not that much.
But it is beautiful, and it goes. It works with the music. So
I suppose I should
fair
say
play to him.
he should. Yeah.
It is great. Go and check it out. So facebook.com/Peacock Affect. Where else do people need to go to kind of find out more information about you, George?
Literally any website /Peacock Affect.
Yeah.
Peacockaffect.com.
Yeah.
Spotify. Everyone's on Spotify at the moment, so I'm getting a lot on there. That's sort of it, really.
Okay.
There'll be links on all the websites. There's links to other websites,
and we'll be sharing those as well on our BBC Introducing in Devon channels as well.
Thank
you. What a pleasure. Let's not make it another 4 years until you're back for us. I mean, could we mention? Is there the possibility of a Peacock Affect live session for us here in our new studios
Possibly.
at some point? Can you do that just on your own with the guitar?
Yeah, I reckon I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll maybe make it happen in 2018.
Yeah.
Crazy as that is to say.
Yeah.
Mate, absolute pleasure. Best of luck with Imaginary World. It's out this Friday. Message for the fans who are listening all over the world online. What do you say to them?
Oh, I don't know. Thank you, I guess. That's really lame though, just saying thank you, 'cause everyone says that. I think I don't really know what to say, do I? Just I don't know what to say now. Yeah, thanks, I guess.
Yeah, of course. You just got to be grateful that they're there and they're supporting.
And thank you for the messages. If you've ever sent me messages, because I read every single one, and they sometimes say stuff like, "I don't know if you're reading this, but blah blah blah. But I do read them seriously,
Okay.
and I appreciate every single one of them. So
Okay.
thank you if you're one of those people.
Brilliant. George, it's a pleasure to see you. And actually, just the transformation since we last saw you 4 years ago, when you were actually probably quite shy, didn't really enjoy the interview process.
I think I was nervous.
Yeah,
last day.
I think
I
you probably
meditate
were.
now. That helps.
Do you?
I meditate every day. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well, there you go. That's the secret.
I love meditating.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
You look well. You look
Thank
good,
you.
and it's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you very much.
Introduce the final track for us that we're going to hear tonight, Straight Into the Rails, and tell us a little bit about this one.
This one's incredibly dark and heavy. It's like a rock song. I don't think people were expecting it when I released it. But yeah,
Thank you, mate.
thank you.
When everything I've been worrying about finally kills me, all that kill me, ghosts, even ghosts die somehow. Black colors and red rain tears, 'cause you only lose what you cling to. The trees and the wind are dead, the sea and everything else. I walk imperfectly, straight into the rails, straight into the rails. The trees and wind are dead, the sea and everything else. I've healed the blind and raised the dead. I can't seem to feel the pain anymore. I'll cut this cut and waste away, 'cause I can't seem to sleep anymore. Straight into the rails. Straight into the rails, into the rails. Straight into the rails,
Peacock Affect. Taking over BBC Introducing in Devon tonight with 4 tracks. I Wrote This in the Dark, The Glow in the Dark Stars, The Drowning, and that one you've just heard, Straight Into the Rails. Track listing online right now on the BBC Radio Devon website. You can go back, listen again to that, to your heart's content on the iPlayer as well. Remember, Imaginary World out this Friday, 24th of November. That brand new 7-track EP from Peacock Affect. So, hardly any time for me to talk now.